it was a no-brainer for us to go back to Martin Gerrard on this house sale because going back to 2007, we bought our first house through Martin Gerrard. We then sold that house through Martin Gerrard, and we bought this current house through Martin Gerrard. We understand the property market, having rental properties in London as well, so we get it, and we also get the fact that we knew Martin Gerrard and Craig in particular know that market better than anybody else, and we wanted to make sure that we had somebody that we were extremely comfortable with, and the fact that we had history with obviously made that decision much easier. Well, communication is everything. Craig knows our house. He knows the uniqueness. Well, it's no longer our house, but knew the uniqueness of the property. So we had a number of meetings. We told him everything as you do, the price that we'd like to attain through to the process, where we were, property was being rented out at the time, etc. We'd moved out a number of years ago. So we had both in-person meetings. So if we messaged Craig, he would get back our answer straight away. When we had to meet him, he was there. I popped into the office a couple of times because we had this property on the market 12 months ago. Then we decided to pull it off after a consultation with Craig as well. So communication with Craig is always very open. He knows how we operate. We're very direct. We expect the same from him, which he liked. And yeah, I couldn't say enough about it. Never did I feel that I couldn't get him. And even in fairness to Craig, the last stretch, the most important part, when you're trying to get those signatures, he was off. And we were in Paris in 36-degree weather. So if there's pressure on and your nerves are getting frayed, you need to hear that voice. And in fairness to Craig, he got back to us whilst he was off himself. And, that's going the extra mile. We really appreciated it and only reached out when we felt we needed to. Local knowledge is massively important because people will come into this with an idea on price and how easy this is going to be. Yeah, why wouldn't people want to buy this house? But there's a reality when you end up in premium properties like ours, and then everything else becomes important. And Finchley is divided, North Finchley is divided by that high road and what's down towards the tube station versus where you go up towards the parks where we are. We're on quite a busy road. But, with that, Craig knew that whilst the location isn't as desirable, once we got them inside the door, the house sells itself. The house is stunning. So Craig's knowledge of all of that is second to none. He literally knows every nook and cranny in the whole Finchley area. And also, when trying to find buyers, he connected very well to other Martin Gerrard offices in that kind of North London region who may be handling buyers that wanted to move into a property of that size. So yeah, no, his knowledge is excellent. There was photographs taken in the past that we used. We also updated those, and the property photographs well. And they did, we obviously, as a marketer myself, I would follow this, and they did both. You put your property on, they then put it on to everything like to Rightmove and everything else. But when you're in a property of this size, a lot of it is also down to relationships and understanding who the buyers are in that market currently. So there's almost like an internal marketing cell as well within the Martin Gerrard estate to say, look, guys, you need to understand this property. This is a unique property. It will not be on the market again for another 30, 40 years is available. So there's both sides to it. So I'd say most definitely also with regard to marketing is also about timing. So through again communication with Craig going, let's take it off the market now, but let's get it back on the market for Boxing Day. I almost said St. Stephen's Day, as we say in Ireland, for Boxing Day, because that is the day that more people look for properties than any other time. So that's what we did. There was marketing in relation to how we priced the property, that we dropped the price to get it back up to where we wanted to, which is a big leap of faith when it comes to the seller's perspective. Now, pricing and marketing is everything. It can draw people in, it can scare people off, it can make people feel that the property isn't worth or in pricing in anything. I could give you a whole lecture on pricing. But the strategy that he took was right. And that is also marketing. It's marketing the property properly, which in turn got us the sale. And that's where both my wife and I have to applaud Craig. It was the right thing to do. We looked at each other, we sat down here kind of going, is this the right thing to do? Are we going to shoot ourselves in the foot? Will we ever attain the price that we wanted to? And we did. We got to the price that we wanted to because it generated so much interest that just kept moving up and up and up. And again, his experience. Would I have done that with anybody else that I didn't know? No, because I wouldn't have trusted him, but I did him. And he is very personable and he relaxes you, but he's also very senior. And this is really, really important. I have dealt with absolute idiots who have this profession on their business card and haven't a clue. My 12-year-old would do a better job than most of them. And I mean that. I mean, we bought properties and whatnot and sold properties, and it can be just trying, and they do nothing to differ the opinion of estate agents for a lot of people in the world. Where you deal with somebody like Craig, it's professionalism all the way. He knows what he's talking about, and he backs that up with fact, not fiction. He doesn't try and blow smoke up your ass. This guy just knows what he's about. It's very simple, and we know about it. He knows where we've moved to, and he asks about. He's asking. We're up in Norfolk now. He's asking, "Do you go to see Norwich play?" And I says, "I do. I love football and all of that." So he just marries both. Like we get on with the guy. Did he go above and beyond? Absolutely. Like I mentioned that week we were in Paris, and he was off. He was with his daughter in York, I believe, and he has a work number and he has a personal mobile number. And because this sale became something that he hadn't seen in a while, spending an awful lot more time than he probably thought he would have had to. He gave us his personal number, so his work phone would probably be off, or he'd check messages in the evenings or something just in case. But we had his number because it was like, we have to get this over the line. We wanted to get to that complete stage where we could our exchange, sorry, so we could just lock this sale in, because at this stage everybody was getting a bit frustrated. But he kept his head. He was very professional about it, and we got over the line. The thing is about selling a house, the agents have to be prepped. They have to understand the house. They have to understand the area. They have to understand where the schools are, where that beautiful gastro pub is. All of these things bring the warmth and the story around a house as to why you should live here, why your young family are coming into this area. The schools are good, the parks are down the road, you've got your shops there. They understand that. It's not like where I bought properties in the past and I'm in the center of London or wherever that I have properties, and I deal with a guy and it's like pulling teeth, or else he's just talking absolute BS because he's making it up. But I have that knowledge because I'm too prepped to go in anyway. But I just want to test these guys because I can tell the ones that are in bad suits not doing a good job versus the people that I've dealt with with Martin Gerrard, when again sold two houses and bought a house through them. So I have a little bit of experience with them, and they've never let me down. And that's the feedback that I would definitely throw back their direction. We were very happy with Martin Gerrard as a group, obviously spearheaded by Craig, but as the overall team, how they marketed the property and everything, how the pricing strategy evolved to suit the market, to drive more interest, get more people in the door, create that fear of missing out, and which worked for us. Um, right through the process of getting it right over the line. We couldn't fault them. Professionalism was there, speed was there, and we felt we knew where we were right along the way, and it was a difficult sale. It wasn't straightforward at all. The reason I'm doing this testimonial, and I've never done this before, and I may never do it again, is because the fact that I know Craig a long time. Craig is a consummate professional, really like the guy, and trust is not a huge commodity in this game, I'm afraid, from my experiences. But with him, I definitely had it, and that's both my wife and I. We just liked the guy, and he delivered, and we thought he would. We worked together as a team, which is really important. He took our viewpoints on it. Again, as I mentioned, we're very direct, but I felt we did it shoulder to shoulder, and we knew this was going to be. It's a difficult sale. one of the most expensive houses in North Finchley to be sold in the last, I don't know how many years. So it's with that, we got there. So to be asked to give a little bit of my time for Craig was a no-brainer, not a problem. We have been asked by people that we know that are selling houses, and we've sent them to Martin Gerrard. If somebody said to me, I'm trying to go in, I'm thinking of that area, North Finchley, Finchley Central, that whole, area that you used to live. So someone I should talk to, go talk to Craig. Go talk to Martin Gerrard. It's a no-brainer. Why? Because they know the market. They really know the market. They're professional. The people that they have working with them are excellent. They prep, they know what they're doing. If they take you to a house, they've already asked what you're looking for. So they're not going to take you to somewhere where you're looking at them going, why are we here? This is not it's not what I asked for. They know what they're doing. So it's not would I, it's I am.